Hello, everyone. Welcome to LOCKBEARD Phenomena number 124. Jack Frost is here. Saturday, January 13th, 2024. It's about 19 degrees where I'm at in Oklahoma. And it's supposed to get down to 0 by 7 a.m. So, yay. Looks like Oka Bones is the first one here. Welcome. Probably not quite as cold now where he's at. Icon, welcome. Halito. It's probably quite a bit colder up where you're at. You're probably laughing at us complaining. Crashy in the cold front. High winds. Yeah, we had some wind there when this shit was trying to blow in. AKA Harvey Dent says, well, I'm here. Welcome, Harvey Dent. Angel's here. Welcome. Mark's here. Welcome. Everybody getting your highs and hellos in. It's 5 degrees where you're at. Cold isn't the problem. It's the 4 feet of snow. Yeah. Well, cold wouldn't be a problem for me if I had a place like that. Doing the van life thing, it's hard to keep warm. Especially when you're having a hard time affording all the propane you need to run, even just, because there's not enough room. Like you can't have a really big heater. So I have like a small propane camp heater. I got propane right now. We'll see if it gets through the really cold spell. But I haven't been running it until the last day because I just don't. I can't justify the expense when it's getting down in the 20s, but when it's getting below that, I need to get some heat going. How far down in Texas are you? El Paso. Yeah. Well, even Texas is getting cold as hell. A lot of people in Texas might want to be thinking about some of your, covering plants. Some of your, you might have some landscape that can't handle as cold as it's going to get. I know all the way down in the far tip of Texas, all the way south, it's still going to get down in the 30s at the coldest, Texas going to get cold. Or, so if you have plants that need to come in, you need to bring them in. If there's something, like even if you got, some of these trees, that people grow where they normally have warm enough weather, they might not, they might be dying back, so watch out for that. Once again, I find myself wishing I was in Florida, South Florida, where it's going to stay fairly nice. Semi-tropical down there. Icon says, yeah, I don't think the cold front is going to push over that far, but you should see some cooler temperatures this week. Yeah, he's going to get cold. He's going to get cold down there. It's definitely, where El Paso, he might be getting in the 20s. I can certainly take a quick look. El Paso. Look, right now it's showing you got 59 or so down there. Let me see what the daily, like about Monday is going to be the coldest, I think. Let's see, 29 showing on Tuesday. Your low is going to be 29. That's just too cold for El Paso. But the rest of the days, it's not going to get quite that cold. A lot of days down in the 30s. Monday, it's going to be down to 31 as a low in El Paso. Tuesday, it's going to be down to 29. Then Wednesday, the low will be 43. Although I've watched these temperatures change. I'm using the AccuWeather. They change. It may not get that cold, but some of the predictions on AccuWeather saying it's only have been underestimating how cold it has actually gotten in a lot of cases. So it might get colder than what these predictions are. Ocean Pond, welcome. Harvey Dent says 78 in Key West today. If you are in Key West and you got a little space where I can park my van and a plug I can plug into, I am definitely looking to migrate back down to South Florida. I'm just saying. I don't like, when I'm applying for jobs, like I applied for a job today. I don't really want to say exactly where because there's freakazoids out there that'll try and come jack with you if you're on YouTube. So it's not like I'm afraid to even say what the job is and stuff like that. But exactly where in Florida the job that I applied for today, although it looks like a freaking awesome job. But my problem is the employers in Florida do not seem to want to hire people from out of state. I've had people tell me just go to Florida. I'm like, I can't just go to Florida, without income immediately. I need income immediately, and I don't have a place to go. It ain't like I got thousands of dollars sitting here to pay for, getting a place. So at the very least, I want to have a job there before I go because I'm going to be camping out in the Walmart parking lot and stuff like that, and getting my showers at the gym and all that good stuff until I can got the cash to get a place, because I'm certainly not earning enough money here, but I'm having the same problem here. Employers don't seem to want to hire. I keep getting these emails, back that say we're not going to consider you for the job. I don't know if I'm blacklisted or what. This has been going on forever, for me anyway. So yeah, definitely want to migrate to South Florida. Sick of these frigid ass winters up here. I definitely want to be by the sea. Want to eat seafood, damn it. Sleeping Beauty's here. Welcome. Uncle Bone says cold enough. Icon says we've had almost a week of snow. Seen everything from monster snowflakes. Can't see the flower bed 15 feet in front of the house. Visibility 45 to 50 mile per hour winds. It's been nuts. Yeah. Yeah, again, if I had a nice warm place to stay and I didn't have to go anywhere, especially if these Oklahoma ice storms, because we're in this band here that often gets hit with ice storms. Where you'll see that they'll show you the band across the country, and it's always at an angle, kind of angling. If y'all are seeing what I'm seeing, it's backwards. It's like that across the country of the United States, right? Where north of the line, it's snow. South of the line, it's rain. And in between, it's just ice. Well, there ain't no good sense in driving on that. Like, they'll slide all over the place. I've had a wreck before driving in that crap because I was coming back from work and it, I didn't beat it. I was trying to get home before the road started freezing because we knew it was coming. It was freezing rain starting to hit, and it was just a bad spot. And somebody like went off that same curve that I did before, and and they must have launched right off of that bitch and hit a tree and crashed and burned, man. Now I was lucky. I hit two trees really close to the road that stopped me from going over the edge. But and I was only driving 11 miles an hour too. That's another thing. I was only driving 11 miles an hour. But it doesn't matter when the road doesn't bank in like it's supposed to on that curve, and you got ice forming on the road. Just slow motion off the freaking road. But I used to play around on that stuff a lot when I was young, but where I was living was a relatively flat area, so you could kind of get away with it. Like, you slide out around the roads, and as long as there's no one parked on the side in the road, by the curb, the curbs, generally stop you as long as you don't get going too fast, and you could play around pretty safely in some of the area that I did. But there's a lot of places where it's not safe at all, and a lot of people who aren't mindful enough about that go out in that and end up getting in serious wrecks. So the best thing to do is just don't go out on the ice slick, because everything gets coated in ice. Like, it can get up that thick on branches and stuff, and of course they get brittle in that cold, and they're weighted down with a lot of weight, and so branches are just cracking and breaking off, and they're falling on power lines and taking out the power everywhere, and it's just a disaster. And they should just, everybody should just stay home. So, but everybody rushes to the grocery store. Get the milk and bread kind of mentality. It's just funny. Like, you should always have enough food in your pantry to get you through the next month, really. But I guess a lot of people don't, or something. I don't know. But they freak out and they all descend upon Walmart. It's nuts. Which sucks when you're just going like on a regular. You're getting a couple things. You're not going because the storm's coming or anything. It's just like your normal day to go, and you get there and you're like looking around like, why is it so freaking crazy in here? Why? It's like people are freaking out. I mean, it's nuts. There's just too many people in here. Why is there so many people in there? And you figure out, oh, there's a freaking ice storm coming. All these people are freaked out. They think they need a bunch of stuff and that they should have already had, basically. But Ocean Pond says Wednesday will be in the 20s in North Florida, about average for us. Yeah, I don't want to be in North Florida. It's still too cold there. I want to go to South Florida. The Keys wouldn't be too bad. I'd rather be on the mainland though. But the Keys would not be a bad option. It really wouldn't. I've applied for jobs and I've interviewed for a job in Key Largo, but The answer was no. The answer was no. Harvey Dent says, when you apply for jobs, now they do social media checks and nothing personal. They probably saw your show. Yeah, a lot of people are talking about that. So if they don't like what I'm doing on here, then yeah, I guess that could be a problem. So I don't know. All the more reason for everybody to share the hell out of the channel. Try to help me break this YouTube moratorium on my growth. That's something else I guess we need to mention. Let me see where I'm at right now as far as this goes. So I started throwing a bunch of shorts videos, clips from Family Guy, South Park, stuff like that, Simpsons, and you know what? Might as well, as a matter of record, before the graph moves too far over, show y'all what's been going on. So I started uploading all, because those are pretty popular things. There's a lot of people that are fans of those shows, and so let me see if I can get this to show up for you guys. Y'all can see what's been going on with the channel. Bigfoot and Moore's here. Welcome. Yep. So you can see what happened, right? So you can see right about around Christmas there, December 24th, I started throwing some shorts on there, and you can see the views started skyrocketing. And then all of a sudden, about the 2nd of January here, they just plummeted to nothing. The subscribers were increasing too. Subscribers was well under 100 when I started this. And look at it. In that space of time, I added 347 subscribers or so. And then it flatlined. This line graph here, this is the views. And let's see if we can look at the subscribers. You can see this is YouTube obviously shutting my shit down for some reason. So you can see where my subscribers were just on this really very slow increase back here in the beginning on the left there. And then when I started adding them shorts, it just started to skyrocket. And then YouTube turned that spigot off and held me at about 439 subs for 9 days straight. You can't go from adding dozens every day to no growth whatsoever for 9 days straight, unless YouTube turned some little spigot off because they didn't like something I was doing. So yeah, but today I've increased a couple subs, so maybe whatever it is has stopped. I don't know, because I'd watch it too. It would increase to 440 or 441, and it dropped right back to 439. And so they were holding me. They had some kind of button they pushed that took me and kept me at 439 for 9 days straight. And we'll see if this what are we at? 442. Like this just happened today. So we'll see if that we'll see if that gets pulled back to 439 again. But they definitely turned some kind of switch off on me for I can, maybe they don't want me to get to 500, where I could, because you can get partial monetization at 500 and start to get the super chats and stuff like that. YouTube, and also, I mean, there's been some discussion out there, you all may see, with new policies that are even more geared towards stopping alternative media. They don't want anyone they're trying. YouTube is definitely on board trying to stop alternative media. So they don't want us talking about the news. They want people to go to CNN or Fox News or MSNBC. All those are the same. Fox News is not better. It's not better. This is, you remember the game, right? It's classic divide and conquer. They convince both sides to hate the other side. Fox News is working for the same people as CNN and MSNBC. They want you going and watching them because that's how they keep the country polarized. That's how they keep everyone fighting. Do not watch that stuff. Turn it off. And go, get on the internet and find someone you think you can trust for some more accurate reporting of the news. Well, they don't want that. YouTube's trying to shut that crap down, and that's why their new policies are even more geared towards stopping that. And it's probably in the algorithm somewhere where if you say a certain phrase or a certain phrase is in the title of your video, it's automated. They'll shut your shit down. So I don't know what exactly I did. I've tried reaching out to them. They will not respond to me. All I know is I've been pretty much stopped in my tracks as far as getting to 500 or even to 1,000. The rate I was going, it was looking like I was going to hit 1,000 subscribers by last Saturday night, possibly. And you saw on those graphs, they shut that shit down. But for what exact reason, I don't know. Icons, I didn't read that, did I? Icon says there's a drift out back taller than the corn planter. My plow and disc are completely buried. Saw 3 cars get stuck in the road or ditch that runs along the east side of the farm. Took 4 hours to get one out of the ditch. The county snowplow got stranded and couldn't turn around or buck the drifts backing up. Yeah. I mean, at some point, the snow's so bad, everybody needs to be able to hunker down, right? And just deal with it. Like that very same ice storm that I just talked about that I wrecked in. There were people that were not prepared to be stuck in their homes. Like they didn't have ways of heating and feeding themselves without being able to get out, and they just couldn't get out. So there were people, elderly people and stuff like that who were in danger because they just weren't ready for that. Now, where I was at, we had, plenty of wood stacked up. We had chainsaws and fuels and stuff like that. And so when the power was out for a couple weeks. And so like we took the deep freeze and just shoved it outside on the deck because, we needed to keep the food frozen so it wouldn't spoil. And it was plenty cold outside. So that's what we did. And then we cooked food on the wood stove, right? Because you have a top on it, or you cook on the wood stove. but not everybody was remotely prepared for that. And then what happens is a bunch of people like went and bought generators, and then once the emergency situation was over, a whole lot of those people who bought generators didn't keep them. They took them back to the stores as if this was only going to happen once. And then later on, they find out, no, the power goes out sometimes. If you're going to get a generator, get it and keep it. And it's just funny the way people are. Icon says, to make a longer story short, the neighbor came down with the big-ass wheel loader to dig this SUV out. Then the two tow vehicles, two SUV squads, and one other stranded driver on the road got dug out. Yeah, it sounds like nobody should be trying to drive in what you got going on up there. Get a snowmobile. Go places on a snowmobile or stay home. Here's Deborah Hatswell, BBR Investigations, says, hi, guys. Blessings from the UK. Welcome to the chat, Deborah. It's snowing up your way at Lockbeard? Well, I don't think so. I don't think it's snowing yet. It's cold enough, is all I know. It's cold enough. Temperature dropping fast. It's 17 now. 17 degrees now. Mostly clear. So looks like we might not be getting. It's not showing snow tonight. It's not showing snow tonight. The nearest it says there will be snow up here is 1 p.m. tomorrow. So, yeah. Yeah, I ain't worried about no snow. Because if it snows, it's not going to be nothing like what Icon's got going on up there, right? It's not going to be. It's just too damn cold. It's just too damn cold. I don't want to deal with this kind of cold. Icon says you got 441 subs. That's good. It's good. Yeah, I need to get it up though. Got to get up above at least 500, so maybe the channel can start producing a little bit more. Because I got certain things I got to pay for to do the channel, and I'm not getting anywhere. If anybody thinks I'm making money on this, that I'm getting ahead at all, no. I'm barely scraping by. Harvey says same thing happened to everyone who said bad things about a certain government agent, Bigfoot faker. Said something about a certain government agent, Bigfoot faker. I'm not sure exactly what your meaning is. Deborah says YouTube don't like paying out, so they hold back your subs. It's happened to me for years. Yeah, but I mean, they get their cut, right? Because when someone gives you a super chat, YouTube gets their cut. So I don't understand. I don't think that it's that they don't want to pay out, because they're not giving me at 500 subs. They're not giving you any ad revenue. It's nothing but a benefit to them if I reach 500 subs. They want to starve me out, I think. They want to starve anyone like me out there. They want to starve us out because we've got a history of saying things that they don't want you to know. They don't want people like me to tell you that when the big thing supposedly happened, They don't want people. I have to speak in code about it, right? So one, the test that they were giving you to tell you you had the thing doesn't actually test for the thing, right? But because people were told this tests for that and it says positive, so you got it. People just believed it because they just believe what authority tells them. They trust their doctor. The doctor didn't invent the test. The doctor doesn't have any ability to check if the test is actually testing for what they said it was. They were just given these tests. Administrators told them to use it. The CDC's been caught lying in all kinds of crap, and people are trusting them. They're lying. Anyone could have stepped outside and looked around and saw no bodies in the street. If you got no bodies in the street, you don't got a P word, right? Pan thing. So you don't got it. It didn't. Okay. People would be dying in the street and it wasn't happening. You also saw news reports where people were asking what happened to the normal death statistics from flu, because every year hundreds of thousands of people die from the flu, complications with the flu, just like they said with the C word thing, the C-19 thing. They just labeled it the other thing. Flu just didn't take a break that year. No, no, they took those statistics and said, let's just say these are this thing over here because we're scaring people with this thing over here, and we're scaring them so they take a needle. And then you find out where there was even guys trying to tell the United Nations, look, some of these batches were tainted with something very bad, something that could lead to you being terminated. And a bunch of people have been terminated. So this is basically all known information, but there's still a huge portion of the population that won't believe it. And they won't look hard enough to see what's going on, because they just blah, 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 and listen to their favorite politician because they've been told to, So yeah, YouTube don't want people like me trying to inform people. Look, basically what we had is a big G word thing, right? The same G word thing that Adolf did, over there in Germany. About what was it, 80 years or so ago, that Adolf fella, he did this G word thing. Well, that just happened in the world right in front of everybody. They spooked everybody and scared everybody and convinced everybody to go and volunteer. They didn't have to round you up. You rounded yourselves up, and you marched right up there and took the injection. Now, there's so many more problems with it. I mean, it goes on and on. There's many, like I have to speak in so much code, it's hard to convey it. But two, it would take forever to go over everything that was wrong with the whole situation. All the indications that the entire damn thing was a lie. The whole thing. So they don't want people like me who say that kind of stuff. I've said it many times, and so they hate on me for that. They hate on me for pointing out that people have been convinced of man-made global warming, and I actually have an environmental degree, so I feel like I'm just a little bit more qualified to speak on the matter than your average person out there, Greta Thunberg. How dare you? Lady, you don't know shit. She don't know nothing. She was told to go out there and say it and whatever, and it was stupid. And Al Gore, all the way back to Al Gore, right? I am super serial. South Park making fun of him was hilarious, by the way. Anyway, it's bullshit, right? It's bullshit. The man-made global warming is bullshit. Like, yeah, we have just a very slight effect, but here's the deal. Are they telling you to stop boiling water? No, they're not telling you that. See, carbon dioxide is only a trace gas in the atmosphere. It's a very tiny amount, and right now, compared to what it has been in the past, scientists have been able to determine what CO2 levels have been over many thousands of years, and right now it's actually on the low side. It's on the low side. for the Earth naturally, right? The Earth naturally, the CO2 goes up and down depending on a number of factors. And the biggest factor is the sun, right? Because the Earth's distance to the sun has some variability. It isn't always the same distance. And the sun's activity levels, right? It changes changes how much energy is coming into the system. And that is by far like dwarfs any other factor as far as what determines the temperature of the Earth. So these guys are sitting here telling us, oh, we need to worry about the CO2 levels. We're pumping up CO2. Yeah, except here's the problem with that. The Earth wants to be at a certain equilibrium level when it comes to concentrations of gases in the atmosphere right now, right? Okay. Well, guess what? If you release CO2, extra CO2, that takes us out of the normal equilibrium of the Earth. So different processes will intervene to keep the CO2 at the equilibrium level. We can't actually, it would be extremely, extremely difficult for us to push the CO2 levels higher than what they're supposed to be right now, based on the Earth's makeup and the sun's solar input, right? Solar energy input. Now, some of that would be just chemical processes that would absorb CO2 into the ocean water and soil and stuff like that. But we have this thing called biome. We have a whole bunch of life forms on the planet, and a lot of those life forms are plants. And plants, they like to eat CO2. So when the CO2 gets a little high, it makes it where the plants got plenty of food and they eat and they gobble it up and they grow a lot. So basically extra CO2, every marijuana grow house owner knows what happens when you put extra CO2 in the atmosphere of a grow house. The marijuana grows faster because there's kind of a law of diminishing returns. As the levels of CO2 get lower, it gets harder and harder for the plants to pull it out of the atmosphere. And they've looked at like the stomata, like the plants will grow different numbers of stoma on the leaves where they can take in the gases and stuff, depending on how much CO2 is there. So not only does the plant life eat the CO2, the plant life can alter how many stoma on the leaves to gobble up more CO2 if there is more CO2. I mean, the life can adapt to the situation and will bring that CO2 level down. So that's just one of the things. CO2 is just a trace gas. Now there's a much bigger CO2, a much bigger greenhouse gas in the atmosphere than CO2, dwarfing it, and that is, I guess the proper chemical name would be dihydrogen oxide, right? You don't see them saying, "Oh, we got to ban dihydrogen oxide." You need to stop boiling water on your stove because that is H2O, right? Water vapor is a far bigger greenhouse gas than CO2 ever dreamed of or ever could possibly be. So they can't, the whole damn thing falls apart, right? Because it ignores some really basic science. But your average people, they don't get educated in this stuff. They don't know anything about this stuff. They do not really care to study this stuff. That there's a reason why they're not scientists. They're not interested. If they were interested, they might know, right? Because that's the difference between whether you do good in math or not. Are you interested in doing math? No. Well, you're not going to do good at it because you don't want to do it. And that's fine. Not everybody wants to do everything, right? Everybody thought because my dad was a great car mechanic that I would be too, except there's a problem. I have no interest in doing auto mechanics. So I'm not very good at it. I mean, when I really put my mind to it, but I hate doing it. I hate working on cars, especially when it's cold. But so anyway, getting back to YouTube, don't like me talking about that, right? And especially the fact that I do, like I had to show, because someone was questioning whether or not I had a degree the other day. So I pulled it out and showed. I was like, here it is right here. They're probably going to say it's fake or something. But, I actually have an environmental degree, so I think I have a slight amount more business talking about man-made global warming than your average person out there that don't know shit, because they didn't study any of that. They just listen to Al Gore and they listen to their favorite politician and other douchebags like Greta Thunberg. So YouTube don't like me talking about that. They don't like me talking about the dietary thing, because the fact is if you eat the diet that you're supposed to eat as a human, all these diseases people get wouldn't happen. And so they don't like people like me pointing that out, you know. So they got multiple reasons to try and stop me from getting anywhere. You know, so and for anyone that's hasn't ever seen me talk about this before, humans, that all those spear points we killed woolly mammoths with, and mastodons with, and other species of large elephants, and other species of megafauna. Megafauna are big animals. Um, I think they classify really anything over 100 pounds as megafauna, but we had all kinds of animals that we hunted, and there was no salad bar. And even if there was a salad bar, there was no salad dressing. You know what I mean? People weren't eating plants. You know, if you go out there and collect some plants out, like anybody that says, "Oh, all these plants are edible and they're wonderful for you," and blah blah blah, and they're really tasty, yeah. But then you see them drench it in some kind of dressing because they taste like crap without the dressing. And dressing usually has some little bit of animal product in it, some kind of creamy, blue cheese or ranch dressing. It's got some dairy product in it, animal fats and protein. You have to drench it in animal fats and protein to make it taste good. Broccoli, pretty much the same thing. I don't care what people say. They're like, I love to eat it raw or blah, blah, blah. And they're dipping it in ranch dressing, or they're cooking it and smothering it in cheese and butter. They're putting animal fats and proteins on there to get it to be slightly palatable. The reality is humans are specifically designed to eat fatty meat, mostly fatty red meat, and to some degree seafood. We are not designed to eat plants at all. And of course, most people push back against it because they were always told, but they never actually learned any science to back it up. They just believe what they were always told. Oh, you need your vegetables and fruits are good for you, and whole grains and all this crap that's complete lies, and it's been thoroughly proven to be lies. But so it's no wonder that everybody is slowly degrading their body. Your body is resilient. It will try to live under those circumstances where you're constantly poisoning itself. I mean, vegans are very lucky that the human body wants to live very badly. It's unfortunate that some of their babies kick the bucket, and because vegans trying to make their babies live as a vegan, and the baby dies, and then the vegan parents end up going to jail. That'll never happen to carnivore parents. Never. There's all kinds of nutrition that's in animals only that doesn't exist in plants, but not vice versa. There is no nutrient that is in plants that's only in plants. There isn't any. All the nutrients you need are in meat, but people just they've been brainwashed for so long with this lie. And of course the medical industry benefits, because if you're sick, you're a cash cow, right? They make all kinds of money off of you, giving you prescriptions, trying to keep this symptom suppressed or that symptom suppressed. And a lot of these doctors, man, you see what kind of people they are once you start challenging them, because they don't have no information on this. They weren't even schooled in nutrition anyway. And if they were, they got the wrong information, because it's all based on, like, a lot of it's epidemiology, which is basically you went and gave a bunch of people questionnaires and expected them to, 1, tell the truth, 2, be able to remember what they ate, and 3, be able to estimate how much of it they ate. So you see someone that's eating a bunch of steak, and they, a lot of times it was just like that. They would say, well, they're eating a bunch of steak and they got cancer. Well, it must be the steak. Well, why must it be the steak? Why wasn't the mashed potatoes sitting next to the steak? Why wasn't it the bread sitting next to the steak, or the macaroni salad, or the big soda pop, or this person smokes? Was it not the smoking? or maybe it was the alcohol. They immediately go to the thing that they want to get rid of, because why? For humans to be in optimal health, they need to eat what they're designed to eat, and that's fatty red meat. So the government and the medical industry don't want you to have that. They need you to be sick so you're easier to control and easier to make money off of. So that's just a sample of some of the things that I say that YouTube probably hates me for. But Harvey Dent says, hey, they shut down Dogman UK and took his channel down. Yeah, and Dogman UK, if you're out there, I don't report channels. Like, you would have to do something truly like heinous and illegal. Like if I found out you were on that a certain island where Trump was not that I'm not a big Trump supporter, but let's just say things how they are. Jimmy Kimmel probably was. Oh shit. Hey, I need Jimmy Kimmel to get pissed off at me. He's like, this guy said that. I said probably. I didn't say definitely. Come on, Jimmy, you moron. You know what? Screw you, Jimmy. Jimmy Kimmel said that people that didn't take the poison needle jab did not deserve to be able to be admitted to the ICU if they got an injury. That straight up Adolf Hitler Nazi wanted to deny medical treatment to people who wanted to make their own decisions about what kind of medical treatments they would get, like the jab. Still haven't had it and never will. Will not be poisoned by your crap. I don't need it. I'm still here. And guess what? The people that got jabbed, they're the ones getting sick out there. They still are, because a bunch of them got poisoned with something that's taken them out. This was a G word, Adolf Hitler G word. And Jimmy Kimmel, I think, was probably in on it. He probably knows damn good and well what was going on. They were thinning us out. Harvey Dent says, yeah, but he ain't got no 933 subs no more. Yeah, he'll build them back up, though. There's people that love his shit for some reason. I don't get it. All he does is call people names and provides no evidence for shit. Icon says, we haven't had an awesome snow like this in a long time. The current report puts us at 18 inches accumulated out of the last storm. We already had around 10 inches from the 2 storms before that. Angel says, Harvey Dent, I have not looked, not my type of channel. Yeah, he got deleted off of YouTube and he started a new channel. And he's already talking crap. You can see him in the comments of some of my videos. Wet Lake Effect. Brian Chewy's here. Welcome. Says hello, everyone. Late, but I made it. Better late than never. Icon says I miss my old sled. Had a 72 Polaris Mustang, great machine, but the fixed bogey track system is hard on the ass. I've never driven any kind of snowmobile. I've never been any place where it would be appropriate to have one. Cowboys here says, howdy to everybody. Welcome. There you go. Thank you, Uncle Bones. He posted Deborah's channel. Deborah says the UK is shocked by winter every year. 2 inches of snow down south and the whole city comes to a standstill. Yeah. Yeah, we see a lot of that same stuff here. Every winter, people, like, they completely forget what happened the winter before. And they freak out. And it's just cold. It's just snow. It's just ice. Just behave appropriately, you'll be fine. But I think people get stuck in their house, and then they want out, and then they go drive in conditions they really shouldn't be driving in. There's no good reason to go anywhere. Plenty of cold pearl on hand, I hope. says Icon. Brewed from 1100 Springs. Not sure what that means. Lady Van Queef says the massive troll Cosmic Kitty is live now. She has many channels. It's Polaris Star and it's called Evening Chat. Welcome to the chat, Lady Van Queef. As I recall in the past, Cosmic Kitty would have some kind of person come over here trying to draw us into her chat for some reason to see nothing interesting. If that's what you're trying to do, give it up and get the hell out. Yeah, leave Cosmic Kitty out of here. We're done with Cosmic Kitty. She had you on before. I've never been on her live stream. Icon says, Cowboy seen brewed again, different recipe, you know, if it's any good. Brian Chewy says, Cosmic Kitty, oh my God, I have not heard about her in a while. Yeah, I guess Cosmic Kitty needs some attention, but not interested. Cowboy says, one good thing about it, got rid of the flu. Apparently, yeah. I ain't buying their story at all. They took the flu statistics and they put it over here in the C19 statistics and said, see, a bunch of people got it. No. We had a normal flu season. That's what we had. The only thing that might have made it worse a little bit is you freaked everybody else out. You scared them, you got them stressed out, and some people got sick. You know, that'll happen to anybody. If you stress people out, they get a little sick. You disrupt normal social interaction. That makes people sick, right? Because we're social animals. You can't disrupt normal social interaction. Having a mask on usually means something negative, right? Because in the past, like if someone comes into the bank with a mask on, well, this guy's a robber. You know, you might be in danger. Or someone's got a mask on, there's some kind of medical problem. So when you're making everybody wear them, that's going to create some degree of alarm in the person, even if they don't realize it. And that's going to put stress on their system, and that's going to make a few people sick. The way they handled things, they did, and I think they did it on purpose. You know, from the psychosomatic response to convincing people they're going to get sick, some percentage of people will get sick if you convince them that they're going to, right? There was that, the stress, the social issue that from the mask to telling people to stay away from each other, the social distancing, that actually made people sick. And some people, not everybody, but a few people. And staying inside out of the sunlight, right? Because sunlight, you know, your body creates vitamin D, and that's going to help you fight disease. It's a well-known fact. It's always been the case, and they know damn good and well what they were doing. They were trying to make people sick to try and support the lie that we were in the middle of an epidemic. There has been absolutely zero evidence provided that any kind of epidemic occurred. And everybody should have known it when they stepped outside and saw there were no bodies in the street, right? That's what a pandemic is. And if they went down to the hospitals, because a lot of people did, a lot of them took video and showed. They said the hospitals were in chaos, and people went down. They saw that yeah, there's a tent out there, and all and it looking like they're ready for a bunch of dead people to come in there or dying people to come in. Except it was a ghost town. There was nobody there. There was nothing going on at the hospitals. The media lied. One of the places, I think it was people were coming in to get either tested or to get jabbed. And they showed this line of people on the news. And so somebody decided to go check and see what was going on at that place. And they went, and there was no line when they got there. The line was staged. Those were the employees of the place. It was staged. There was no line. They were trying to convince people that other people were going down there to get them to go. It's just like the Capitol building, or it's just like down the so-called insurrection, right? That was a lie, right? Complete lie. There was no insurrection. That's a lie. There were a bunch of plainclothes agents in the crowd who led people into the building. And then nobody had weapons. There was no battle. Okay. It was some people that were confused. The Capitol Police opened the barricades and let them in. There was that door that they came up against. That's practically like a bank vault door. You're not getting into that door unless someone opens it, and somebody opened it. They let those people into the building. It was all staged, and they used the plainclothes people in the crowd to kind of guide people in there and lead them in there. And some people, they just follow along with the crowd, and because they're, and it was just stupid. It was a lie. And we saw the video of the dude with the horns on his head getting led around by the Capitol Police, like he's on a tour. So anybody that thinks there was an insurrection that day, that still thinks that, you need to. Man, I got a bridge to sell you or some shit. I don't know, because holy shit, dude. There was no insurrection, by the way. If anybody's confused about that, there was no insurrection. Didn't happen. Cowboy says probably not. They did the same thing to Lone Star Beer and just ruined it, Icon. Yeah, don't listen to that Van Cleef person. She's just trying to get people to go to the Cosmic Kitty and give her attention or something. Responded to the wrong message. Bigfoot Moore says, yeah, where's Mr. Lee? I don't know where Mr. Lee is, Cowboy and Bigfoot Moore. And 1 a.m. for you. Night, guys. See you later, Deborah. Have a good night. I'm a little behind in chat, so good night. Dave, how's the weather where you are? I imagine it's somewhere between your weather and my weather. Stinking cold. Windy as hell and cold there. Cowboy down in Texas there. You think you see Bigfoot in the tree line? Oh, that's not even real. That's some kind of animated thing. Some kind of animated thing. Bacon makes everything better, says Bigfoot and More. Yeah. Yeah. That's what it's hard to convince people, because they've been told that that basically they've been told that meat's bad for you. The fact is if you eat nothing but beef and bacon and butter and eggs, and I say, and a few people also say the same thing, throw out the whites. The whites are a waste of space in your stomach. You can fit twice as many yolks in your stomach if you throw out the whites. Give them to the dog. The dog will love you for it. Because it's more concentrated nutrition. And there's a little more behind it, because the egg yolk has a nutritional profile that somewhat approximates the nutritional profile you would get out of animal brain, because we don't eat a lot of animal brain in our society anymore, and that's a mistake. Our ancestors ate it every chance they got, and on some occasions the brain and the marrow was all that was left when we scavenged the kill that we stole from some predators, because the predators can't get inside the skull and the bones, but humans, we got this tool making ability, so we can just crack open these bones and skull and get the brain and marrow. We're very well adapted to living off of brain and marrow. But yeah, tools. That's how we got our meat. We hunted it with spears. We cracked bones open with rock. We used scrapers to butcher the animal. Flint-knapped tools. We never needed claws and teeth. That's not how we are designed. So those vegans can stop it with the teeth thing It doesn't even make any sense. Not especially when we look at the archaeology. It shows exactly what we did. We've used tools from the beginning. Hell, even chimpanzees use simple tools. So, you know, yeah, bacon is life, says Icon. Yeah, eat all the bacon. Make Icon's life more simple. Turn all the cornfields into hay fields. We don't need corn. We need hay. Make more cows. No corn, no wheat, more hay. Because grain feeding the cows ain't doing it ain't good. It's a bad idea. Bacon is meat candy. Cowboy says, if the vegans don't like meat, why did they make a veggie burger? Exactly. They keep trying to make the plants into meat because the reality is their body is craving the hell out of meat and screaming for it. That's why they're shoveling food down their throat all day. Like they're making all these smoothies. They have to take all kinds of supplements because they don't get adequate nutrition. They're going about half nuts because your brain function isn't right when you're not getting proper nutrition. So you're literally going crazy. You're literally going nuts. That's why you start watching these vegans talk and they sound a little nuts. It's because they are. They're absolutely losing their mind because their brain isn't adequately fed, and they do go insane to some degree. Bigfoot Moore says you should write a book, The Lockbeard Diet. Oh, no, they don't need me to do that. If they want to know, if they want to try and understand, because there's a lot of information that goes into it, you know, from actual scientific investigation to, you know, the archaeology that, you know, but all these things really get talked about if you go look at the right, like there's a bunch of carnivore doctors on YouTube now. People can go over to Dr. Ken Berry, Dr. Sean Baker, and Dr. Anthony Shafee. And those three doctors tell you the same thing. Plants are not good for people at all. Not any. You don't need any ever. And my favorite one, though, to look at is Professor Bart K, because he actually is telling people the fact that calories have nothing to do with human physiology. He don't word it like that. I don't remember exactly how he words it, you know. But anyway, humans, there's no calories in your food, right? There's no, like, they put the calories on the food. Those calories aren't actually in there, right? Because calories are a measurement of heat, and you don't get that heat until you convert the food into heat, just like you would do a log in your fire. Those logs in there are being converted to calories, heat units, by combustion. Well, there's no organ in a human body that burns anything. There's no combustion taking place. It's a biochemical process that's going on, and so no, there's no there. You don't absorb these calories. You're not eating these calories. They're not there. It's literally has calories literally has nothing to do with the human digestive process. It's completely moronic to put it on the label. This is why I like Professor Bart K, because he actually is telling people that calories is bullshit. You should never count calories. It doesn't matter at all to human health. It has nothing to do with you because you're not combusting it in your body. That's how you get the calories out of the food. It needs to go through a combustion process. It's a measurement of heat. You're not absorbing heat. You're absorbing nutrition. So you go counting calories on some of these carnivores and they're eating 6,000 calories. You're like, oh my gosh, why isn't this person ballooning? Because calories in, calories out. Because calories in, calories out is bullshit. It always has been and it always will be. The only reason it looks like it matters to some of these people in the gyms is because they're actually eating less food mass. So by eating less food mass, then yeah, if you're paying attention to calories, yeah, it looks like you're eating less calories. But you're not actually eating the calories. But because you're eating less food mass, then it makes it look like to them that calories matters, but it doesn't. So yeah, if you eat less food, yeah, you're gonna lose weight. But then they wonder, well, why do they plateau? Because your system adapts and blah blah blah. But anyway, if you switch to 100% fatty meat, you'll cure shit that you didn't even know could be cured. Like the one thing that surprised me is not getting sunburnt anymore. Apparently, your ability to resist the effects of sunlight is diminished by poisoning yourself with plants. I didn't know that was something that needed to be cured. I just thought it was normal life for a pale person like me to get sunburnt every spring. Except apparently it's not. And it makes sense that it's not, right? Humans run around naked in the sun for thousands of years, and suddenly the sun's out to get them? No. It turns out that the reason why we're not able to resist solar radiation like every other creature on the planet is because we're eating foods that poisons our body, and it disrupts all kinds of normal functioning in our body, from your brain to your asshole. We could talk about that, but it's kind of gross to talk about that. A lot of people are having a lot of problems with their digestion and how things pass and how things come out, and they're wondering why their life sucks because of that. Well, it's because you're eating plants. And your doctor will turn around and tell you, eat more fiber, and that just makes it worse. Doesn't make it better. What you need is zero fiber. I'm living proof. Right? I went 6 months straight, no fiber. Nothing went wrong back there. It just improved drastically. The improvements were because I was so sick in that regard, because I kept trying to eat, I was eating brown rice, I was eating broccoli and chicken breast, and I thought I was doing exactly what I was supposed to be doing. Typical gym bro diet, and it's supposed to be a healthy diet. It's not. When I stopped doing that and I just started eating a bunch of fatty red meat and butter, like I could eat sticks of butter. I talked about eating the sticks of butter, not margarine, Everything improved. Shit improved. You just wouldn't believe it. It was absolutely life-changing what happened. No other diet I'd ever tried had done anything like this. Why? Because humans are designed to eat nothing but fatty meat. So hopefully I help a few people. I am pretty sure Papa Craig heard about this from me, and he did it, and he's getting rid of medications and stuff like that. So awesome. Good deal. Blame it on the alcohol. Icon, what did I read that? Sounds better than vegetable monstrosity. Lived to be 97, was never sex, and ate red fatty meat all his life. Yeah. Dave says, didn't take the jab, and I never will. Yeah. Never got it. Cowboy never got it either. Awesome. Not happening. Be back shortly. Okay. I hope I'm not too far behind. I'm 17 minutes behind chat. I'll try to catch up here. Bigfoot and more says, shoplifting in the town I work in went through the roof while people were wearing a mask. Yeah. Because their identity is hidden. And I guarantee you the government knew that would happen too. Of course it was going to happen. Icon says you can easily raise hogs on hay and pasture. Really only need to finish out with grain if you're raising lard pigs. Yeah. But I mean, all these animals grew on the land without people having to farm grain for them. My suggestion is they just raise them on the land. Don't grain finish them. I get it. People, they need to make them weigh more and make money and stuff like that, and it's really not good to do that. It doesn't it changes the fats in the animal and stuff like that. But it's not going to kill. It's not the worst thing in the world. It's better than eating. It's better to eat a grain finished cow, 1,000 times better than to eat that grain yourself as a piece of bread. So I probably shouldn't complain too much about grain finished animals at all. But I'm just saying we should strive to get to a point where we aren't grain feeding anything anymore. Stop farming grain. Convert every cornfield, every wheat field to a hay field, unless you can turn it into pasture, in which case it's probably better to just have the animal naturally graze on the land like they did for millions of years before we started doing all it, trying to control everything the way we do. That's the way these animals are meant to live. They're out there, they graze. But unfortunately, a lot of people, they're trying to raise as many cows as they can, and there's not enough grass, growing out of the ground on that land to support all those animals. So they have to get hay. But that works out okay because there's a lot of land that's not feasible to fence it off and put cows in it. So it's better for them to go cut the hay, bale it, and take it to where the cows are. So I get it. It's just hopefully one day we can move to a better situation where we figure out a way to make it where everything is open range. Everything is open range. The cows are roaming. You track where the herd's at, and you go out to the herd and round it up when it's time to take out the ones you need, or strip them of their pride, or whatever you're doing with them. Open range. And people learn to live around that, right? Where I'm parked at now, sometimes the cows are in here with me, and they bump into the front of the van sometimes, trying to eat the grass out from underneath the bumper there, and walk out amongst them. They don't like to let you get too close to them anyway. They're not causing shit. They're not damaging anything really. It's no problem. There's some homes in here that the cow can walk right up to the home. They're not causing it. It's not a thing. It's not a problem. There's really no reason to fence them out. The only problem would be cows getting on the road, right? You don't want cows getting on the road. But I have a feeling we could probably figure out some interesting solutions to that in the future. But we'll see, because technology, might offer us some unforeseen ability to keep livestock out of the road in the future. So hopefully that comes along, something pretty good, or just fence off all the roads. Maybe it's just better to fence off all the roads. But Mr. Lee says he missed everything. Well, he didn't miss everything, Mr. Lee. Just an hour in. Uncle Bone says Mr. Lee, knucklehead, missed everything. Danny Stanton's here. Yes, weren't you guys getting some tornadoes and stuff the other day? Troy's here. You have that here. I'm not sure what you're talking about there. Gary Johnson's here. Welcome. Harvey Dent says, yeah, free range don't work here. We got wolf, bear, mountain lions. Free range means free buffet. Well, that's where, because like for whatever reason, a lot of ranchers have just gotten away from using livestock guardian dogs. If you got several Great Pyrenees dogs with your herd of cows, they're going to handle those. They're going to handle those wolves. They're going to handle those wolves. just always have livestock guardian dogs with your herd. And problem's done. You know, they'll guard whatever livestock you got, right? You know, sheep, goats, cows. They'll guard it. You know, the Great Pyrenees I got to guard chickens. And I don't know if we had a mountain lion in that area or not. There's possibility. But we definitely had, you know, foxes, coyotes, raccoons, possums, all kinds of crap that messed up my chickens. But the biggest culprit was a neighbor's dog, a big old boxer dog. He was a nice dog, but he was a chicken killer. And I got that Great Pyrenees straight from, I took her, you know, brought her home straight from the pound. She was at the pound. I rescued her from the shelter. I think they were probably going to put her down because she was sick and stuff, and she needed treatment. So got her what she needed and brought her home. Took her out to the chicken coop and just put her in the chicken coop. And the next morning, opened up the chicken coop. Dog come out. Chickens come out. Dog goes to garden the chickens. Taking care of business. At first, she didn't do anything about that boxer dog because his scent was there first, right? So she didn't know if she should do anything or not until she saw me chase him away. I threw some rocks at him and chased him away one time. After that, I never saw that dog again. And then a couple months later, the owner of that dog called up wondering if I had killed her dog. And I had not. I just hadn't seen the dog anymore. The Great Pyrenees was chasing away the boxer dog and keeping it from killing the chickens. But they never saw their dog again either. So I don't know if the Great Pyrenees grabbed that boxer, took him out in the woods and offed his ass or what. But nobody saw that dog ever again. And a boxer, a big male boxer, it's not a small dog. But a Great Pyrenees, them suckers were bred to run out in the mountains with sheep and stuff and to be able to handle like bears and stuff. So that boxer was out of his league. That dog gone. I don't know what happened to him. But the owner of that dog, like the same shit happened when they got two more boxer dogs after that. Apparently they like boxers. And those two dogs, like they kept them in a fenced yard, but every so often they get out and they go out and cause shit and just be a problem. So they need to like if your dog can't act right running loose, because I don't have a problem with dogs running loose as long as they don't cause shit. There were plenty of dogs in the neighborhood that ran loose and didn't cause any shit. They all knew each other. They were all socialized with each other. Everything was fine. But that person, for whatever reason, their dogs always cause shit. Like one time, those two boxers come up the road, and these people had a little, I think it was a Shih Tzu, on a chain out in the yard, and they attacked that dog. And they bit his nuts off. And then the next time they came along and found that little dog on a chain, they just killed him. I mean, if you know what a Shih Tzu is, Shih Tzu can't defend itself from nothing. Freaking, hell, one of those chickens could go over there and kick that dog's ass. Open range. Yeah, I think open range would be fine. You know, people used to live on open range. We didn't have everything fenced off. I mean, this is getting ridiculous. Everything's fences anymore. It's crazy. But we can't even trust our own species. So, you know what I mean? Like, there's so many people out there. Where's Donald? Oh, he's around, Mr. Lee. He's around. Angel says, Mr. Lee, some areas of Vermont got strong winds and some have no power. Not sure if he does or not. Perhaps. Danny says, funny story. Oh, my God. Mr. Lee says, I saw chicken's head being cut off when I was a kid. It will forever be imprinted on my mind. What part? Where the chicken got up and ran around without its head, blood spurting out? You ever seen that story about Mike the chicken, Mr. Lee? Where they didn't get the head, that there was a little bit of the brain stem left or something. They cut the head off a little too high, and that chicken lived for a long time without a head. They were feeding it with like a medicine dropper, and eventually it choked. Though it choked on its food, but it was kind of a sideshow attraction. Mike the chicken. Mr. Lee says, Angel, yeah, Donald got snowed in sometimes. Gets snows in sometimes. It could be. Icon says it's like a little mini Monty Python blood fountain, Mr. Lee. Mr. Lee says, Icon, no, it was running around without a head. That did me. Well, if you let go of it, it's going to run around for a little bit. This Cowboy says, see, I had to leave for Mr. Lee to come in. Takes a bit getting used to. Oh, Danny's got the link to Mike the chicken. Yeah, Mike the chicken. Well, I mean, you gotta kill chicken sometimes, Mr. Lee. That's how we get chicken. You chicks hatch out. Like I'm not a big advocate for chicken is inferior meat to me. Like you should eat, if you can help it, you should just eat beef, pretty much. Fatty beef. And then only eat chicken if you have to. Because if you're raising your own chickens, they hatch roughly half male, half female. Well, you don't need half your chickens to be roosters, so you're going to kill most of them, or almost all of them, and eat them, or use them to feed something else, or use them to catch. Put them in your crab pot and catch crabs. You can use chicken for that as bait. Hope you have nightmares. Yeah, with Mike the chicken, you're going to get Mr. Lee nightmares. Raptor says hello, everybody. Welcome, Raptor. Mr. Lee says, Dan, it's the dreams I have about you that are the real nightmares. Icon says, chickens don't just reach into their pocket and hand you a drummy. That's correct. Yep. Hello to Raptor. Raptor says, I hope everybody stays warm with this cold coming. Well, everybody's trying. It was about 19 degrees when I started the stream, and now it's 15 degrees. And it's supposed to get down to 0 by... Let me see if the forecast is changing. It's supposed to get down to 0, it said, by 7 a.m. Forecast is still the same. Yeah. Danny says the fact that Mr. Lee shit dreams about me is now my nightmare. Cowboy says, when they are chicks, do you know how to tell the chicks from the roosters? I know there's a way, but I've never had to do it. You know, I've never had to be worried about it. I mean, if you're raising them yourself, like it doesn't. I mean, you don't really need to know what they are when they're a chick because you already got them, right? So you're just gonna butcher the ones that are roosters. But if you're trying to sell them and you're trying to sell people, only female or whatever, then that's the only reason you really need to know what the chicks are. Of course, some of them they're bred to where you can tell by looking at their feathers, but I've never needed to be able to sex them, so I haven't done it. Mr. Lee says, going to snow next week. The whole of England is going to be in disarray. Yeah, tell everybody to stay home. Tell them to cook a big old crock pot full of meat and just stay home, Mr. Lee. Mr. Lee says, Dan, theme tune to the Twilight Zone. Blow your beaks. If the pecker pops out, it's a boy. What? Icon says you blow in their beak, their little beaks, and if a pecker pops out, it's a boy. Squatch Cowboy says by the size of their peckers. Oh shit. I should have known that was going to be a joke. No, Mr. Lee. Don't do that. Don't go to Tractor Supply blowing on little chick beaks. Or I don't know if you had Tractor Supply over there, but Cowboy says that damn global warming. I know. It's going to be 0 degrees in the morning. If it weren't for that global warming, it would be -10, I bet. Sleeping Beauty says getting X-rated. Yeah. It's getting a little bit like chicken, X-rated chicken. Kind of like this.
Yeah, now turn around and lay an egg on the glass.
Oh man, it cut off the end of it. Did y'all see the part where the egg breaks and explodes?
Yeah, now turn around and lay an egg on the glass.
There we go. I don't know why it cut it off.
Yeah, now turn around and lay an egg on the glass.
Yeah. It cut off the front and back end of it the first time. Yeah, chicken decapitation. So those I don't know if there's a real entity out there that we would call Jack Frost, but who knows, right? But I used the AI thing to generate those images for the thumbnail, and anyway, whenever you plug in, you try to describe to the AI what kind of image you want it to make, and it starts trying to do it. Well, it throws out a selection of different images, and then, and then I tell it to do the same thing again and again and again, because it'll get on a different track, and it'll do something a little different the second time than it did the first time, and then something a little different the third time than it did the other two times. So, like, one of the times I told it to make Jack Frost images, they were like cartoons. They were more cartoony, and they looked like kind of like little Santa Claus gnome looking things, but they were dressed in white and blue and stuff like that. Now, but some of the images were transgender, man, like straight up a woman with a big white beard. The AI is infected with this woke crap. Uncle Bone says, "Is that what you see in your dreams, Mr. Lee?" Cowboy says, "I was talking about his pecker, on his face. You have dirty minds. Shame on y'all." Yep. Dirty minds. Mr. Lee says Uncle Bone's only on a Monday. Icon says, "I've seen an AI trying to design a bong. The results were terrible." Yeah, a lot of times it screws things up, and sometimes it's creepy images. Like sometimes like hands. For some reason, it has trouble with hands sometimes, and there'll be this kind of deformed thing going on there, and it's kind of creepy. So, Mr. Lee, I heard a little rumor that your boy Tom Cruise might be making Top Gun 3. That was Mr. Lee. That was Mr. Lee with his buddy Tom Cruise right there. Yeah. So that ought to be cool, as long as they do it right. Like they did a really good job with the new Top Gun movie. So so hopefully if they do the same thing over again, I don't know how, but hopefully they make a good one again. Mr. Lee says, "I knew a man called Bruce that had a flipper for a hand, no lie." You mean like the Penguin did in the Batman movie? The Penguin had a flipper hand. Harvey says, "I heard a rumor Lee 3PO was a bloody fairy." Mr. Lee says, "Tom has been bothering me all week." Has he? Is he trying to get you to join Scientology? You're probably already in Scientology, Mr. Lee. You just ain't told us yet.
You plotting on me, boy?
Yeah. Should we talk about some of the YouTube Bigfoot drama? It's getting kind of boring. But yeah, it's getting kind of boring. People talking shit, people thinking they are the good guys when many of us disagree about that we think that they are not. But And then you got people trying not to get involved, but there's those trying to drag them in, and long video. Oh, no, let me see. I'm afraid to try. The problem with, I mean, y'all can like pull that, click on that link and look at it. Y'all really should look at it yourselves. Computer's already spinning, or doing it's draining. If I try to pull up that video, it might bog me down, and so you guys can check it out. A little person, you mean? No, I don't think he means that kind of fairy, Mr. Lee. My Dogman UK Encounters. This is the new channel for Dogman UK. He got banned off of YouTube. Welcome to the club, by the way, Dogman UK. As I said earlier in the live stream, I don't know if you were hanging around. I did not report you. I don't report channels unless you're a pedo or something. Unless you went to the island or something. You have to do something pretty bad before I report a channel. I don't know if I've ever reported a channel. I don't think I have. And hopefully nobody here did, You're free to say whatever you want. We don't like what you say. We think what you say is fucking stupid. But I believe in free speech, and you're free to say stupid shit if you want to. So whatever. So I'm sure you're rebuilding your channel though. Cowboy says he has a poster of L. Ron Hubbard on his wall. Mr. Lee does? I bet he probably does. Nice ornament. Oh, you always love me, huh? Lots and lots of comments here. Back better than ever. Say what you want always, huh? Well, hopefully you figure out you're wrong. Cowboy says, "Man, dog, why did you bring up my name?" Oh yeah, Cowboy's wondering because that that part where you said F Cowboy. Squatching Cowboy is wondering why you said that about him. He is wondering why you said that about him. That wasn't very nice. Something else that we were talking AI and new movie. Might as well talk about the thing.
It's a big club, and you ain't in it. It's a big club, and you ain't in it.
That there's George Carlin. Somebody, I guess, made like an hour-long AI version of George Carlin, and so it looks like it was what they did was probably illegal to do. Like it's not just a short clip, a little meme or anything like that. It's like a full comedy special. So it appears that may be illegal, and they might get in trouble for that. So Icon says, Mr. Lee, if anything, a few of those would make a cool lamp base. Dogman UK says it was other cowboy, not you, don't know you. What other cowboy? Who are you talking about? because everybody here, when you say cowboy, it's squatching cowboy, right? There's only one cowboy up in this bitch. So I think you're just kind of cover for yourself. Like, I think you're figuring out that going after cowboy was a mistake. You miscalculated. What other cowboy? Exactly. What other cowboy? There is no other cowboy. There is only one cowboy up in the squatching. And that is the squatching cowboy. It is no BS search for Bigfoot. Mr. Lee says, Icon, that's what I'm saying, man. About the lamp base. Gary says, if it's free speech, then the earth is round, sort of saying, haha, it could be flat, though. You can say it's flat, and then people will think you're stupid. If you actually believe the earth is flat, you are objectively stupid. I think would be agreed upon by most people. Mr. Lee says there is only one cowboy. Yep, there is only one cowboy. Icon says you need to balance out your audio when playing your clips. They're a bit loud. I don't know. I don't know how to do it. I can't even get them to play 100% the way they're supposed to. Like it tends to cut off the beginning and end of them for some reason. So I don't know if I needed to like re-upload them. I don't want to deal with that, but yeah. I don't know how to balance it out though. New show coming. Mr. Lee says there can be only one Highlander. Yeah, Highlander was awesome show. I don't know what kind of bullshit they were trying to pull, like with the movie where they made it like where they're aliens. Why did they make them aliens? Like, they're not supposed to be aliens. They're supposed to be some kind of like because of the holy ground thing and stuff like that, it's almost like it's a religious thing. It's a metaphysical thing, not a science fiction thing. So, but I don't know. Some yahoo decided, oh, we're going to make them aliens for some reason. It doesn't make any sense. If they're aliens, why are they born on Earth? Why are they born from human people? That was stupid. That's part of the reason why that movie kind of sucked. I don't know. Some people, they want to come in and change certain shit that don't make any sense to change it. It goes completely against what it was. It was humans who were sometimes born and if they were killed violently, they would become immortal. It was never aliens. So why did they change it to aliens in that stupid movie? It's ridiculous. You're a Highlander. Real Highlanders aren't immortal, though. Troy says there is only one. Dogman says, I don't care who you all are. Well, maybe you should start caring about who you're talking about, man. Troy says the one and only. The one and only. Back with something planned to be good, though. You never had anything good before. I don't know why we should expect anything good in the future. Icon says, oh, all good then. Cowboy says, it is flat. I seen the pyramids today when the clouds broke. Immortals. Yeah. Mr. Lee says Highlander 1 was the only good movie. Yeah, I'm there. It's been a long ass time since I've seen him. Like, let me see if I. Oh, They messed it up though. They messed like a lot of times when they try to make a movie adaptation of a TV show, they screw up. They screw it up. So you had the 1986, the first film, 1986 fantasy action adventure film. Had Sean Connery in it. The film chronicles the climax of an age-old war between immortal warriors depicted through interwoven past and present day storylines. It's the first film in the Highlander franchise. I don't know if I want to read through the whole plot, but yeah, it's just it's just they fight, and there's no aliens here. There's no aliens. It's a metaphysical, because what it says up here at the top, it's a fantasy action adventure. Fantasy. It's not really. I mean, you might be able to call it science fiction, but Highlander was never really science fiction. It was a kind of a religious thing. Now you go over to I'm looking at the Wikipedia pages and seeing how they describe it. So Highlander 2, The Quickening, they describe it as a science fiction film instead of a fantasy film like the first one. The 1991 science fiction film. So, directed by the same guy. Who wrote? Where's the writer at? Shit, where's the writer at? Yeah, the stories by different people. People who, probably, I don't know. I bet if we would look closer, we'd find out these people didn't know shit about the TV show. The first movie, they knew about the TV show. Who wrote it? The person who wrote it knew about the TV show. The second movie, this person didn't know shit about the TV show. Because you got this whole, I mean, look at this plot. In the 1990s, industrial pollution has destroyed the Earth's ozone layer. Boy, that dates it. Leading to death, sun unfiltered ray, blah, blah, blah. Of course, as you recall, Connor became mortal at the end of the first movie, but and he still is. He's grown old. But these alien immortals show up from a different planet. And so, because there's now no longer just one on Earth, he gets young again and immortal again. Well, that don't make any goddamn sense. And that's not what the show was. They completely screwed this shit up. See, they were screwing up movies long before, 2025 or 2015. I'm sure they'll still be screwing up movies in 2025 though. But they just turned it into straight up. They changed it from fantasy to sci-fi. Highlander was never sci-fi. It's a mystical, magical thing, the holy ground thing. Why would aliens give a shit about holy ground on Earth? They wouldn't. You got, what's the next movie? The Highlander 3, The Sorcerer, also known as Highlander Final Dimension or Highlander The Final Conflict. I did not watch this one. At least I don't remember watching it. Probably because way back in 1991, they pissed me plumb the fuck off by screwing up Highlander. They completely screwed it up. It's kind of like Star Wars. They've screwed up Star Wars so bad. I don't want to see no more Star Wars because whatever they're making in the future, it's not Star Wars anymore. I don't know what the fuck to call it, but it's not Star Wars. So yeah. The Quickening. Yeah, that was a stupid movie. Stupid. I'll make it my new show, Planned Hard Talk on Your Community of Rats. It's going to be good, coming soon. Why don't you find something constructive to do, man? Because you still haven't been able to prove that he didn't do the shit that the evidence showed that he did. You haven't proved different. He did it. He stole. He lied. Blah blah blah. So, Henry Cavill's. I don't think so. Christopher Lambert was such a rubbish actor, though. Well, he's okay, I guess. There was other flaws with this whole thing, right? You know, like if you're going to hold on a second. Okay, so if you're going to make the what am I trying to say? The name was stupid. The name of the series and the TV and the movie and all that stuff was stupid. Because him being a Highlander really has nothing to do with what the show is really about. The show is really about immortals, and immortals can be from anywhere. So I guess I don't know the story about how, because the original movie came out in 1986. Highlander 2 was in 1991, and the series started in 1992. And the series kept it, it's fantasy, right? It came later, but it's fantasy. The original film was fantasy. What am I trying to say here? Anyway, they shouldn't have called it Highlander because they locked them into that, right? The brand recognition of the word Highlander. So, and I don't know. I guess that they couldn't get Christopher Lambert for the series or something. I don't know. But if he was okay, great. He's a Scottish Highlander. Well, if they can't get him for the series, then they had to come up with someone else. And they, for whatever reason, they got themselves locked into the name McLeod too. So it could have been someone completely different, but for whatever reason, they wanted to latch on and keep it called Highlander, and they wanted to keep it the same, McLeod name, and they kind of chained themselves up with all that when they could have just called it something else, Immortals or whatever, and then it wouldn't matter what the guy's last name was. You wouldn't be trying to make sure that he is another Highlander, and They just locked them. That name locked them into something that they really shouldn't have been locked into. And so they held on to it. And so then you get to the other series they did, Highlander the Raven. Is she even a Highlander? I don't even remember where she come from. The show was kind of forgettable to me. I didn't really care about it. It didn't last very long anyway. And that chick, I don't remember where I don't think she wasn't a Highlander. So now they have a series called Highlander, the Raven, but she's not a Highlander, right? At least it's not as far as I recall. She's an immortal, so they should have called it Immortals or something else. It shouldn't have been called Highlander. That was a mistake from the very start, but whatever. I don't know. I don't know that he was a bad actor necessarily. He had an interesting accent going on in there. There can be only one. The way he said that was just really weird and unique. Yeah, he's from Scotland. At least he claims to be. Pay close attention to the claims to be. He claims to be from Scotland. There are those of us who don't necessarily fully believe that. Dogman's new show coming soon. Just put loads to build my channel. Where's Donald? Donald's hiding. Queen class with first movie. Wait, or are we related? What? Icon says Raptor. He's out ferrying moose through the snow. Oh, Cowboy's proud of the doggy. Mr. Lee says Raptor. Big snow in Vermont. He must be snowed in. Yeah, he may be snowed in. He might be. Tell me now, says Harvey. Dogman says Lockbeard, though I was dark water, thought I was dark waters, I mean dirty waters. Dark sewage. Yeah, more of the drama there. Like dark sewage was on somebody's channel the other day. So I kind of poked in the chat a little bit. And here comes oh shit, I'm forgetting names now. What's her nuts? Somebody will remember for me. Anyway, she's in Alaska a lot of the time. She was all on board with the wood knocking equation developed by the third generation tracker who probably can't track shit. Anyway, so she can't help herself. When I show up in the chat and she's there, she tries to start shit with me. She starts poking and prodding, posting clown emojis and shit like that. She can't help. Yeah, Iron Dogger. Mr. Lee got it. Iron Dogger. She always tries to start shit. And Mogs is in there, and Mogs told her to stop. Because she's trying to start shit. She can't help herself. Oh, I need to go back to where it was. Cowboy says, Donald doesn't have good internet anyways. Add snow and, well, Yep, his internet may be down. Cowboy says, Captain Kirk was getting on my nerves in Star Wars. Oh, I guess that really bugs some Star Wars fans are all in on Star Wars and don't like Star Trek, and some Star Trek fans are all in on Star Trek and don't like Star Wars. I like both, or I used to. I like the older stuff. The newer stuff, they screwed up everything so bad it's not worth. You know what I mean? It's crap. You don't care now? Okay. I don't know what you're talking about, but whatever. Like I says, I got pissed off when he kicked Tattoo. Who kicked? Who kicked? Somebody kicked Tattoo? Well, we'll see. We'll see what you do, man. Raptor says, Dogman, all the shows you're on, they don't have proof either. Just making up crap. Too good. Luck with that all. Because he was born in Scotland. Connor. Well, he did live on the highland, so there's that. Yeah. Mr. Lee says Ramirez was from Spain. Yeah, he was from Spain. Like the show is really about immortals. I mean, yeah, the secondary thing is you're talking about, Connor McLeod and Duncan McLeod both being Highlanders from Scotland, but that locks you into to Scotland for some reason, and it really doesn't need to be, because there's immortals from all over the place, different countries. So so when you end up with a Highlander, the Raven, it doesn't even make any sense. It should be called I'm just throwing out immortals because it just immortals, but they could have called it something else. But yeah. Yeah, they shouldn't have. Highlander shouldn't have been the name of it. I'm just saying Highlander shouldn't have been the name of it from the very beginning. That was a mistake. Cowboy says, didn't Dennis Weaver play McLeod? No. No. Messed it all up after the first movie. Should have done a series after that one. Yeah. First movie was a fantasy and it worked fine. It was cool. When they tried to, whoever those douche nozzles who wrote the second one, when they tried to turn it into science fiction instead of fantasy, they just messed up. It's just stupid. You never mix sci-fi with fantasy. Or you can mix you can under specific rules and circumstances, but usually it ain't going to work because it's too much of it's some. These are two things that they're oil and water. They're oil and water. It takes a very specific set of circumstances to make that work in your story, and it sure as hell didn't work with Highlander. They basically retconned what it was all about. They changed what the whole damn thing was about. Scottish. Gary says, are we in a big glass bubble? If that's the case, why do these clouds move faster than usual? Oh, that weather machine then got in Alaska or Canada. I don't know what you're trying to say there. All I know is flat earthers describe the flat earth as being this flat thing and it has a big dome, a big clear dome over the top of it. That's their description. Well, we have a little toy that's called a snow globe. It's a little flat area in there and some shit in there and then some glass dome over the top. But it's funny that we call that a snow globe, and these guys are describing the flat earth as being exactly like a snow globe. I think that's just funny for some reason. Iron Dogger, yeah. And I guess somebody told me she made a video about me and whoever else, Donald or Brent or somebody. I don't know. I haven't seen it. I haven't felt the need to go see it. got other shit to do. I'm sure it's stupid. I'm sure it's stupid. Dogman says I got targeted by Dark Waters and DDoS, the BDRP, Tapaha. Yeah, dude. This is what's funny. I hate those guys. Like, you and I could be on the same side when it comes to those two assholes. But you, for whatever reason, have decided that LIB is not like those guys when he really is. Now, he isn't, well, as far as I know, he's not out there making physical threats against people, but he is full of shit. And he was caught red-handed stealing and lying. So I don't know what your problem is. Like, the evidence was provided. It proved that he did it. What's the goddamn problem? Why are you protecting him? Why have you latched onto that particular hoaxer to protect him? Icon says Iron Dogger Putts. Doggers. Yeah. What the fuck ever. Got blocked her in the chat just saying. You blocked her in that chat just saying? Did you? I mean, she can say whatever hell she wants. I'm just pointing out she tries to start shit with me whenever she sees me in the chat. Dogman says, I find the community funny, really all attacks. Well, that's all you did over there was attack. It's funny, dude. Everything that you accuse others of, you do only 10 times worse than anybody could possibly do, right? You talk about attacking women, but you attacked Nikki viciously and you know, making fun of her appearance and stuff like that. Like, you attacked a woman for real, and definitely 10 times worse than anyone could possibly have attacked any other woman in the community. That's a big problem there. Now, but the first problem is even the clips that you used in your video to try and show Brent and Nikki, going after Judy, it actually showed that you were full of shit. And if anyone was watching that and thinking with their heads, like, these people aren't really attacking her, they're actually talking about her attacking them, or specifically Nikki. Judy was over talking shit on Nikki. That's all that was said. They weren't attacking Judy at all. You're a goddamn liar if you say they attacked Judy. No, Judy is over starting shit with other people and causing hell. I don't know when her husband died or any of that shit. I don't know. My condolences. Sorry for her loss, so on and so forth. And I don't know about all that. All I know is what's going on. And all I know is Judy's out there causing shit. And so, so yeah. So you were completely wrong on that. And you're the one that actually is attacking a woman unjustly. And not even attacking her for what she's done entirely. You're attacking her for her appearance. I mean, that's some fucking bullshit right there, dude. If you're going to attack someone, you don't attack them based on what they look like or their lifestyle or anything like that. You talk about what they did that was wrong. And you're not really doing that. You're bending the truth. You're fucking lying, straight up lying in a lot of cases. And you're attacking people's appearances like a little fourth grade little bitch. So, and I don't think I'm being too rough on you about that. What you've been doing is absolute bullshit over there. Hey, you're free to say whatever you want, but I'm free to say what I want too. And you're being a little bitch over there with all that shit that you've been saying over there. So when you say here, I find the community funny, really all attacks. That's what your channel was, 100% attacks. Holy shit, dude. You're so ass backwards. You ain't got proof of shit. Like I said, Captain Kirk kicked tattoo in Star Wars, man. No, that was Tattoo's buddy. I think I started a fad on the Moog show. Dave says Dennis Weaver was on a TV series called McCloud. I don't even know what that is. And is that that's not Highlander though, is it? Is that some kind of spinoff of Highlander I'm not aware of? I think we got our wires crossed. Spawn. Yeah, I didn't read the Spawn comics, so I don't know if they messed anything up. I think it was a okay movie. I liked the movie. Cowboy says, got to be old to remember that, David. Y'all remember? Uncle Bones remembers. So that's something I don't know anything about. Then we got our wires crossed on that. Yeah, very young. Watch every week. Like old Dennis is Chester, Peter Falk. I remember who Peter Falk was, but I mainly just know him from the Princess Bride movie as a grandpa reading the story to his grandson. But I also remember he was that detective. I forget the name right now. Back to the show, Hard Talk. You're welcome on my show because my show is going to be different. Oh, yeah. I don't think so. I think it's going to be the same old bullshit. Cowboy says, just one more thing, Icon. Columbo. Yeah, Columbo. Yeah. Couldn't contain myself. Yeah. Everybody's a good guy. If he made a mistake, leave it alone. Go after the bad people. Okay, be better. I'm not buying that it was a mistake. I think he premeditatively stole on purpose, and I'm not buying that bullshit. Come on. Nobody wants to say point blank what the issue is. I think I'm gathering that he supposedly had some kind of it's the same thing as what they did with so-called doctor I'm forgetting names right now. I'm tired and it's late. But the guy is talking about how he went through a portal and he learned how to operate a portal and saved the last of the alien Sasquatch people from their planet and brought them to Earth. And somehow that guy, anyway, he had some kind of brain damage or something. And so people want to excuse him because, he had brain damage. Well, one, I don't even know that that's true for that matter. But all I know is that he made up some bullshit about portals and Sasquatch. And that's all I know. So they can try and tell me, well, this always happens though. They come up with some excuse why you need to let these people off the hook for what they did. And then they just want to let them keep on keeping on without and not spoken about, as if they have something to add to the discussion after they stole and they lied and they hoaxed and all these different things. His eyes, Peter Falk's eyes. His eye, you mean, says Mr. Lee. Yeah. Eyebrows and a cigar did all the acting. Yeah. Raptor says LB doesn't know anything either. He's full of crap too. Yeah, that's about the long and short of it. Not your problem. Community's a joke. Cowboy, yes, he was fantastic. Bad boy spanked me, Lockbeard. You've been spanked. Danny says, oh my God. Oh my God. Yeah, he was. I asked Nikki, I said, sorry, okay. And she's perfectly within her rights to accept your apology if she wants to. I, on the other hand, operate on this alternative concept that I don't put up with. I don't put up with bullshit. Forgiveness allows people to do to you again what they did before. Turning the other cheek is exactly what it means. It's turn the other cheek so they can hit you again. I'm not about that. I ain't goddamn Jesus. I ain't Jesus. Sorry. And I don't think that forgiveness is justified most of the time, because those people that you forgave are going to do the same bad shit to you again. So why give them the opportunity? Never forgive, never forget. So I don't care if she can forgive you. Doesn't mean I have to leave you be on the matter. The fact is you did it. You did it excessively repeatedly, and you're sitting here talking about people talking about women after what you did. That you did it yourself for real, and they didn't even really do it. And that all presupposes that if a woman does something wrong, that you can't say nothing about it, right? What book are you reading where it says, oh, if a woman does something wrong, you can't say nothing about it because she's a woman? You know what? It says in the Bible that when Eve grabbed that piece of fruit, did God let her off the hook and throw Adam out? Said, fuck you, Adam, you shouldn't have done it. But Eve, she's a woman. We can't say nothing about a woman. No, when a woman does something wrong, you can damn sure say something about it, just just like a man. Okay, that's goddamn equality. If you don't like it, fuck off. You're a moron. Just because you're a woman doesn't mean you get a free pass when you do stupid shit. So that whole logic in your head is fucked up anyway. Like, everything you say is like bullshit and a lie and twisted. Nothing is legit. Nothing. Proof of anything. Go look at number 38. LOCKBEARD Phenomenon number 38. It's right there, dude. I don't know what more you want. Cowboy says no, he was a detective from Texas, I think, in New York. Raptor says, Dogman Nikki even said it on a live stream one night. Judy was saying stuff to her, and she asked her to stop, but she didn't. Yeah, that's not an attack on Judy. That's Judy attacking Nikki, basically, in someone else's chat over there, and Nikki asking her to stop. Yeah. This guy's freaking got all his wires crossed backwards and cattywampus and shit. Dave says, no, not Highlander. McLeod was about a modern cowboy detective. Yeah, I never heard of it. Or if I did, I don't remember. Chewbacca chipping in here. Arg. Like any pirate would. Harvey says, all I'm going to say is, Dogman, the people you stick up for don't support you, and they all talk about you behind your back, saying you're crazy. How often you see Long Island Guy or Jessica on your crap? Yeah, Jessica is full of shit, too. She's full of shit. She only remote views things that you can't check her on, right? You can't go and find out if she's right or wrong after she remotes views it. She's really slick. She's a huckster. I gave her 2 chances on the show. I don't know if she saw. I'm sure somebody ran to her and told her. There's always some tattletale, right? Ran to her and told her, say, hey, Lockbeard's got this challenge. He had items, because when you do remote viewing, you can designate with some kind of number or something what the object is. And I designated object Lockbeard 1 for a little bit, and then I designated Lockbeard 2 for a little bit. And guess what? No word on it. Why? Because Jessica can't remote view shit. She's full of shit. She will never remote view something that you can actually check. Go ahead. Try to get her to do it. I dare you. Of course, somebody will say, well, see, we did it. And they're her buddy who told her what it was or whatever. They'll plan something. If you want to prove it to me, Jessica, remote view something that I can verify. Of course, It doesn't do anything for anybody else. If they trust me and they believe me, then sure, that might work for them. But for me, I need you to remote view something that I will be able to personally verify. I guarantee she'll never do it because she can't do it. She's full of shit. Columbo. Yeah, Columbo. Quincy. I kind of remember Quincy too. Matthew Johnson. Yeah, Matthew Johnson. People want to give him a free ride because he got brain damage, and maybe he did, but you still got to call it out as it was bullshit. Now maybe he was nuts, but it was still bullshit. So you got to call it as bullshit. Dogman says, why can't you all just go get your own evidence on things and stop talking like you're experts? Because unless you had encounters or got proof, it's just hearsay fact. Because, listen to me. I'll give you the benefit of the doubt for a minute that you're still in a state of confusion. When we are trying to investigate the existence of Bigfoot, and you got people out there spreading bullshit information, that muddies up the water and makes it hard for us to sort out what's true and what's not, what evidence is real and what's evidence is not real. In any proper investigation, scientific and criminal investigations, doesn't matter. You have to sort out if evidence is real evidence, legit evidence, or not legit evidence. You have to do that. That's part of the investigation. What we're doing by examining claimed evidence and debunking it is we are conducting the investigation the way it should be. You cannot just sit there and accept anybody's story because, oh, that's their truth. And that, no, there's no their truth, my truth, your truth. None of that. No. There's one truth, the truth. See, people want you to get these to say, well, this is their truth. No, shut the fuck up with that. Shut the fuck up with that. You're being idiots. There is the truth. That is the only truth, the legit truth that can be proven if you find evidence of it. You can't have this person has their truth and that person has a different truth and say that they're both legit. They're not. One of those people is mistaken, crazy, or liars. They're one of those things. They're mistaken, they're crazy, or they're liars. But in an investigation, you have to vet evidence so you can discard what's bullshit and keep the evidence that appears to be real, or at least can be reasonably verified. These people are presenting shit that's not verifiable. And in some cases, if you have like a witness who has been caught lying and caught stealing, guess what? You can't trust anything that motherfucker says, like LIB. And in LOCKBEARD Phenomena, episode 038, I showed the evidence that proved LIB is a liar and a thief. End of story. It doesn't matter if he's got some kind of issue that led him to do it. He still stole and he lied, which means anything he puts out is questionable now. He is not a credible witness ever. He will never be a credible witness. This is part of the investigation. Do you get it now? Do you understand? This shit's clouding the water, making it hard for us to get to the truth because we're wading through all kinds of bullshit. So, there. Dennis Weaver. Quincy. You like Quincy? Good one. Duel was a great movie. Hell yeah, Uncle. Quincy fans. Bunch of Quincy fans up in here. I remember. I didn't know. I don't know that I was a big fan of it, but I remember watching it sometimes, though. Dog Menu Case says, I don't care what others think of me, but at least people seen what your community is like. dude, they saw what you were like. Look, we're just trying to get to the truth. Quincy's still on? Or are you talking about reruns? Dogman UK says, Lockbeard, behave or I come. Oh, you gonna come get me? Are you making a threat against me? Are you serious right now? Are you seriously making a threat against me right now? Because it's starting to sound like you are. For Me TV. Forgot about Me TV. Thought the typhoid, you mean typhoid epidemic? You know too what is or isn't. Cowboy says, I watch Me TV all day, every Saturday, all westerns. What do I know really? I don't know what you want me to tell you, dude. If I knew for certain Sasquatch was real, then I could say that. But my search would be over, right? But I don't know for certain. I'm looking for the evidence. Group attacks, whether men or women are wrong. Fact, I stood up to you all. Okay, man. But you know what? You went over there whining about the group attacking you. The fact is you showed up in my chat, causing doing all this. You went into the lion's den. What do you think was going to happen? People here don't support you. Some of them are neutral or try to be neutral. Danny was trying to be neutral, but you attacked him. It's hard being neutral because you get the bullshit you pull. Big Valley Rifleman. Like I said, Me TV is fairly new around here. When I quit TV, I think one of the first things they did was have a Happy Days marathon. Rifleman. I don't think I'm God. Maybe. Define God, though. Define God. I've talked about the soap bubbles in the sink. Soap bubbles in the sink. If you don't know what that means, then I ain't talking about it right now. Talk, no proof. Kind of like LAB. Cowboy says, how many shots did Lucas fire at the first of the show? Leave Jessica alone. She's full of shit, dude. She's full of shit. I'm sorry. She's full of shit. Either she remote views something we can verify, or it's all bullshit. But she always remote views things that you can't verify. That is by design. But for successful Bonanza, we would have no Ponderosa steakhouses. Hey. Something odd. It won't let me delete my spelling. Am I being watched by somebody? Maybe you're being paranoid. Hop Sing. Bonanza. Show how much you're just a hate group. No, we don't hate nobody. Don't hate nobody. Raptor says, Dogman, you're not showing any proof here either. And other people that you talk about, they're not showing proof either. A lot of room for you to talk, huh? Yeah, I'm actually looking for proof. That's the deal here. Part of trying to find proof is you look at people's claimed evidence and you try to determine if it is credible evidence or not. Well, and so you don't like it when the people who present evidence that supports your particular fantasy about reality, when their evidence is not considered credible by people like me. LIB has no credible evidence that I have seen. And he's been caught stealing and lying, so we got a problem. He's not a credible source of information at all, in my view. So doesn't matter why he did it. He did it. He did it repeatedly. You know, you might be able to say, well, he made one mistake or two mistakes. No, he made a bunch of mistakes. Have his theme tune in my head all day. Hell of a cook, hop sing. You don't have proof of shit, dude. You don't have proof of shit. You have shit that you claim is a Dogman Nest site, whatever that's supposed to be. Harvey says, you do realize Jessica Jones opens her show by saying that this is for entertainment purposes only. Kind of says it all. Yeah, you would think that that would be their first clue. Their first clue. But there's kind of the implication there, though, that her viewers are meant to believe that she is legit, but that she has to give the disclaimer that it's entertainment only to protect herself from whatever, right? So that's implied there. Like, she says it's for entertainment purposes only. Her viewers are meant to think that she's saying that because she has to, not because she means it. So there's that, right? These people watching her definitely believe that she's legit. So Raptor says, I'm not in a group for this subject. Just want the truth of this subject and not a bunch of wind up my booty. Yeah, I hear you, Raptor. Love how nobody can tell me I'm wrong when you all know nothing fact, but what can say? Again, another nothing comment from you. Quincy, Emmy, another good vehicle for Klugman. I ain't seen shit for evidence. You got inconclusive pictures. Not as good as Odd Couple. Raptor says, Dogman, are you Patrick Vaughn under a different name now? Stuff you're saying, you're sounding like him. Now, he's definitely getting his talking points from other people. Like, he says he don't like dark sewage, but he called Nikki Miss Piggy exactly like dark sewage did. That's why it kind of makes me wonder if he's dark sewage, and he acts and he just says he doesn't like dark sewage to try and cover his tracks, but in reality, he's dark sewage or dark waters. I like dark sewage better. BS talking. Okay, whatever, dude. Whatever. Adam 12. Cowboy says Tony always seemed he had some sugar in his tank. Car 54. Dogman says, but you are a nobody, so why does anyone listen to you, clout vampires? Haha. If I'm nobody, why are you in my chat? Why are you so worried about what I'm saying? I'm not claiming I'm somebody necessarily, but I'm on YouTube, and you don't like me saying it. So apparently I'm not nobody to you. Apparently I'm somebody to you, Dogman. I think you do love me. 11 Barry 6-1 Adam 12. I'm not entirely sure what kind of code you're speaking. Like I said, there's a model of a car 54 on my train layout. David says, my favorite when I was a kid, and I still watch it. Anything for you, prove me wrong. Yeah, more bullshit from you. Cowboy says, why are hurricanes always named after women? I sense another punchline coming. You're not showing any proof on your channel, says Raptor. Yeah. You really have to ask, Cowboy. BS Talk Funny, all know nothings. Tom Cruise says, Dogman, you can join Scientology, ? Squatch Cowboy, It's going to give us the answer of why hurricanes always named after women. Cowboy says, when they come, they are wet and wild, and when they leave, they take your house and car. Harvey says, I had to make a fake account to protect myself from those guys. Don't make me play good now, Daddy Lockbeard. Whatever. 13 shots. Hearsay, Locky boy. Screenshots said it all, dude. Michael says, I thought it was an exorbitant account, but didn't recall it being that much. Gotta love a Hollywood revolver. Protect yourself. Sleep Beauty says, tell him, Lock. I'm trying. Dogman says, I got nest sites taken over months with shots and videos with Dogman at it. I be realizing soon. Want to see 1999 allows for free. And I don't know what. You need to construct your sentences where they make sense. I'm not entirely sure what half that means. You don't have receipts. You have inconclusive pictures. There's nothing conclusive there. And just your claims. You got to do better. Gary says, cannot call God a liar because he sent his angels in my behalf, I think you mean, who were looking down at me in a vortex. Yeah, some good mushrooms you got there. Raptor says, Dogman, there's no proof that Dogman or Bigfoot make nests. 90% of the time, it's survivalist people doing that crap. Yeah. And a lot of times, things that look like a nest to a person is formed naturally. You know. I wish I'd gotten some pictures. There was a really good one where it looked like there was a dome made out of vines and tree and stuff like that. Even had an entrance to it, but it was not bushcrafted. It was not created by anybody. It happened naturally. So what happens is, and this happens all the time. What happens is you have a tree, it doesn't have to be a very big tree, and it gets covered in a bunch of vines, and they wrap all around that tree, and eventually they kill the tree. They overwhelm the tree. And those vines, though, so the tree's standing still, and it's got that it's encased in those vines. Eventually, the dead tree rots out of the center of those vines to enough of an extent that it bends over. The tree bends over, and the vines are still alive, right? The tree bends over all the way to the ground because it's got all this vine weight at the top. The good windstorm comes in and blows them and dislodges the vines from other trees around there that they've grown up into. It falls down, and so you have this archway made. And this one that I ran across that was a really good one that I wish I got a picture of, but I didn't. The tree, because the tree rotted enough that it could bend over. Because, a dead tree is usually, it's rigid. This tree had rotted to the point it was basically crumbling inside this kind of tubular structure of vines that had wrapped around it. And so there was only a few bits and pieces of this tree, the wood from the tree left. And so you had this archway of vines, and then all these vines that were laying over here kind of in a dome shape. It was not bushcrafted, though. It fell over like that naturally. But most people would look at it, so no, somebody made this. Somebody had to have made this because they don't understand the process and how that could occur naturally. So yeah, there's a lot of these cases. So like a nest, like what people call a nest, is way simpler to form than what I just described. It can form naturally. Those kind of what appear to be some kind of nest-like structure could form naturally, and a lot of people would not recognize how that could occur without Bigfoot or any human or anything doing anything. It just happens. But they want to see what they want to believe. And they it's a belief thing. It's a cult belief thing. And they don't want to hear the truth is probably not what you think. It's not a Bigfoot nest. It's not a Dogman nest. Shit just fell down like that. And you're seeing a structure there where there's not. Mind speak and stuff never had it. Their back animals. What? Pack animals. Out of popcorn. Icon says, here you go, sleeping. Popcorn. Had mind speak. Sure. Gonna be my first chat on my new show. Tall ones. Oh, it's gonna be good. And yeah, you say that. I think it's gonna be bullshit again. Buried in popcorn. Mr. Lee says popcorn is not keto. Mr. Lee is correct. Mr. Lee is correct. Mr. Lee, we got to get more people converted. We got to get you converted to carnivore and then fasting so that you can heal your liver. Heal your liver. If you give your liver a break from food and your whole system, see, because the human digestive system isn't meant to be constantly working all the time. You're supposed to go without food sometimes. It needs a rest. Anytime. Andrew Imalozi says, love and support from St. Louis, Missouri, USA. Seeing is believing. Welcome to the chat, Andrew. First time. Love me, Daddy Lockbeard. Have more than you ever have, BS talkers. Playing nice, but I'll let you do all the BS talk. That's all you can do. If you say so. Cowboy says, not trying to be rude, Gary, but where are you from? I'm from Texas. Not keto. Not keto. Mind speak structures, fake, fact, prove me wrong. So is portals. Jen says, Icon, haven't seen you much. Happy New Year's. Hope you and Mr. Pup are doing well and staying warm. Welcome to the chat, Jen. Cowboy says, I have arches in my backyard. No Bigfoots around here. Danny says, LL, you can barely mouth speak, mind speak. Dogman says, all made up. BS in this community, fake narratives, all made up. Fact. Including LIB? Including LIB? Can you at least say that? Mr. Lee says, I have segregated maple tree and sycamore tree in my garden. Sleeping on vacation. Andrew says, after the crazy stuff I've seen, anything is possible. But what's funny? Jen says, just adulting and all the fun crap Icon. Dogman says, America is the biggest fakers in the world. Fake, fake, fake. Including LIB. LIB's here too, dude. You include LIB? Raptor says, Dogman, when you get some good evidence on your channel, I hope you post it and I'll watch it and go from there. Other than that, I haven't seen anything that looks promising. Cowboy says, it is if you put bacon on it. On the popcorn. Danny says, I believe in the possibility of Bigfoot having mental abilities. Who knows what they can do? Mr. Lee says, Jen, I'm okay. How is your carnivore diet going? In between hunts, says Uncle Bones. Dogma says, I don't care. People believe, don't, or think, don't make it fact. Well, you seem to be really worried about what people are saying. Jen says, haven't gotten there yet, Mr. Lee. Still have food in the house to finish up, but getting there. Mr. Lee says, Dan, that's what my mom's used to say about me. Dogman's going after the entire United States of fakes on Bigfoot and Dogman. In the United States, we have a guy called LIB. You include him? Come on now. Slim Beauty says, that explains why I don't have any popcorn. Keto. Yeah. Yeah. But keto is just a stepping stone. You got to step on a week or two of keto. If you've done keto before, you don't need to go a whole long time. Just get kicked in a few days, really, and then get into carnivore. Carnivore is where the real magic happens. Pennsylvania. BS. Raptor says, okay, Dogman, put up the video. You say you have the evidence here in chat so I can look at it. I haven't found it yet on your channel, and I have been on your channel several times. Well, this channel got deleted unless he put it on the new channel. And I'm not giving him a wrench because he'll do something stupid. Tired of adulting, stuck with that position. Harvey says he thinks all of us are nuts. Harvey Dent. Playing funny. It's 98% of kids fake BS. God dang, going to be great. You say that. I probably will not be watching any of it though. Sleep Beauty says, oh, the magic. Oh, magic. Dogman says, Raptor, who are you? Raptor is Raptor. New channel. Raptor says he's nobody. It's good to be nobody. Crazy dinosaur with a lawyer? With the lawyer? I don't even know what you're talking about now, Mr. Lee. All talk and no proof, just like LIB. Yep, just like LIB. Harvey Dent says, I think a fair question is, Dogman, who are you? My Name is Nobody is a great movie, says Cowboy. Hashtag by something. Every time I write something down, it comes up misspelled. You're the biggest skeptic unless it's LIB. You protect LIB for some reason. So why are you skeptical about others but not him? Uncle Bones says he's Spartacus. Feeling the cold out here now. 13 degrees. And going down, down, down. Yep, going down. Well, we bet about 3 hours on here. About time to wrap her up. Mr. Lee says, Pat Garrett and Billy the Kid, fantastic movie. Okay, go speak to LAB. Mike, not me. Got problem with me. The problem, you're talking shit about me because you don't like what I'm saying about Mike. So it's kind of funny you're telling me to go talk to him and not you. You're the one coming at me. So I got to respond to you to some extent. Icon said that's a good movie. How's Ruthless? Haven't seen him around. Yeah, he hasn't been around. He probably got sick of this place. Harvey says, Long Island guy is the Charles Manson of the Bigfoot world. If he wanted Lockbeard, he would send the family for you. Be careful. Thinks he's some kind of mafioso. Well, but see, that's that whole issue I'm talking about. Some of these people, they make these threats, these violent threats. Sometimes thinly veiled, sometimes not so thinly veiled, but you know, they make these threats because they don't like what you're saying, so they imply physical threats. And we know, because we see it in the news sometimes, these crazy people go hunt down a YouTuber they don't like, and occasionally someone gets offed. They get terminated. That's a dumb thing to do. If you don't like a YouTuber, just don't watch the YouTuber. If you go and you do something to them, you're going to go to jail for a long time. It's not worth it. Just for something that you don't agree with being said. You can just not watch the channel. It literally does not matter at the end of the day what I'm saying if you don't listen to me, right? Dogman is the Batman. Ruthless is good. Goofy as always, says Icon. Dogman says, I say community in America is 99% fake. Prove me wrong. All grifters, BS talkers like you. Like LIB. Like LIB. Harvey says, beware the cult of Sasquatch. If I ever see one, I'm going to join. You're not crazy, are you? All right. I'm getting a bit cold out here. It's now 12 degrees, so we'll turn the heat on for a little while and then hopefully it's not too cold that I have to wake up earlier than 4 hours from falling asleep. About four and a half hours. That's 3 cycles of sleep. So that's typically what I need to do, 4.5 hours. So if it don't get too cold in here in 4.5 hours, but man, getting down in the single digits probably is. I'll probably end up waking up. Or maybe I won't wake up. Maybe I'll just freeze to death in my sleep. Dogman could be LAB too. That'd be kind of hard because it'd be kind of hard for that to be. Because LAB be on the screen and Dogman's over here chatting away on other shows. So I think it'd be really hard for it to be LAB. Like I says, we'll still trying to get him to do another Eternity stream. He moved and is still getting settled in, hopefully in a month or two. Talking about Ruthless. Nothing's funny. Andrew says, there is a Swatch cult. It's mine. We call it the cult of daisies because sassafras loves smelling them daisies. No, that was some. I don't know what that meant. Dogman is Dogman. Jen says, "Okay, fellas, and sleeping. Be safe. Catch y'all later. See you later, Jen. Thanks for hanging out." It's time to get the heck out of here, I think.
Look like a tasty teenage boy.
That's your Jessica right there. She likes tasty teenage boys.
Look like a tasty teenage boy.
Yeah, she would like a tasty teenage boys. And Dogman.
You can't handle the truth.
Yep, you can't handle the truth, Dogman. Harvey says Dogman is too intelligent to be Long Island guy. Dogman can actually make videos look good. Mr. Lisa Lockbeard, your beard will be frozen. It might be. It might be. Yeah, his video needs 10 too. Yeah. Another forever stream. Oh boy. Uncle Bone says Lockbeard, burn the midnight oil. Will PP in you will pay oh thank you, man. Thank you. Uncle Bones is probably the greatest supporter, and I thank you greatly. Check some live jazz. Good one. You too, Icon. Take it easy, Raptor. Jen. Haven't seen a Bigfoot or nothing like. I haven't never seen a Bigfoot or nothing like that, but I did see a bunch of men in dresses in Scotland. Good night. Good night, sleeping beauties. Good night, Dave. It's freezing. You're eating ice cream. That ain't keto. Mr. Lee, tell him that ain't keto. It ain't carnivore for sure, but it also ain't keto. Just owned y'all. Yeah, sure you did. Thank you, Sleeping Beauty. Dogman's a girl of some sort, says Raptor. Oh, man. All right. I'll try warming it up in here. It's getting too damn cold. Temperature's dropping fast. 12 degrees. That's just ridiculous. Gary says, pretend you're in Virgin Island and they'll keep you warm. What? Good night, Harvey. All right, everybody. See you next Saturday.